Benjamin Martinez, MMA Nut here with Jake, the Juggernaut Ellenberger in Las Vegas. All right, we just experienced a crazy night of fights. What was it like to be here?
It was a great event, an epic event. But yeah, there's some unfortunate events at the end there, but quite an atmosphere though. I'm always looking forward to coming to these events, especially the year-end event too. But it kind of left a little bit of a bad taste in everyone's mouth. But unfortunately, it happens.
Well, I think a lot of people were looking forward to the next event as well, which you unfortunately had to pull out of due to injury. Could you sort of detail the injury and what happened and what's recovery periods looking like?
Yeah, I just hurt my hamstring, and really the reason why I had to pull out of the fight was because there was the potential to make it a lot worse. A tear to where you would need some time. So I didn't want to risk really that making it worse like it could be. So it was about 8 weeks I think total for recovery, just doing physical therapy. But and I've never pulled out of a fight either. I've had like 37 fights and never had to back out of one. But unfortunately, this stage of my career, every fight is come to close to 100% as possible. So I had to back out.
Now, the fight would have been against Tarek Safedin, former Strikeforce champion. Is that still a fight that interests you, whether he wins or loses?
That's actually, I still wanted to keep that fight, but he said no. And to be fair to him, he's been training, and so they gave him a replacement opponent. But for me, I'm just focused on getting healthy right now.
Now, your last fight was against Rory McDonald, and it's been a while since that fight. It was critiqued a bit at the beginning. How do you look back on it and feel about that?
You can always look back and reflect and stuff like that. And for me, had an off night. There were some things that I was going through. And I don't make excuses. When competition, there's a winner and a loser. That night he had a better night, and for me, I can look back and see what I can do to improve and move forward. But I know what I got to do when I do my best and when I'm at my best is moving forward and being aggressive. So that's what I got to do and go back to.
Like I said, most of us used to seeing you very aggressive, knockout artist. But outside the cage, you're a very nice, polite, social guy. Now, but what I'm wondering is, how do you go about making that switch from being Jake Ellenberger to being the Juggernaut inside the cage?
It's funny. I was just talking to a friend about that, and really, it's just flipping a switch, kind of in your mind. The fighting is so psychological, and I work with a brilliant sports psychologist, and he talks a lot about turning the switch on and off, and learning how to do this. It's really like you're doing mental training just as much as you're doing physical training. So, I know when you get into the fight, you have to turn the switch on, and sometimes it takes a minute or two, or to get hit, or to get pissed or whatever it may be, but you got to be able to flip the switch. So, in a way, you're separating your mind from yourself, and really, and you're taking things, regardless. You're just going out there and you're fighting, and you're not thinking about anything else, but what you got to do to win.
Was that perhaps a little bit part of what went wrong against McDonald?
Yeah, I had a couple things in my mind. I definitely was much too conservative, and as was he. It takes two to fight. So but being able to make adjustments during the fight, that's one of the hardest things to do. So looking back on that, it's, if you saw the Robbie Lawler versus Rory fight the same way, the first 2 rounds were very, very conservative, and then Rory was doing what he was doing well, and Rory flipped the switch in the 3rd round, and just you almost have to get a little reckless. But that wasn't my night, so all I can do is move forward and make adjustments.
Now, what's the time frame looking like for when you can get back in the octagon?
It sounds like March right now, so we're shooting for a March return, and I'm not sure who, but we'll see.
Is there anyone in particular that interests you, rankings-wise, makes sense?
I haven't really focused much on that. I've really just been focused on getting back to 100% and learning more and keep growing. So as far as because for me, I know if I'm at 100%, I can beat anybody in the division. So I gotta take a step back and look at myself psychologically, physically, and get back, get my leg back to where it was.
Okay. And like I said, you want to move forward and grow. Is there any area or sort of anything in particular that you think you want to develop or improve on?
I've been working a lot more with Rafael Cordero in Muay Thai. So for me, I've actually been training a lot more kicks and knees, and just.
I was thinking that we're used to the heavy hands.
Yeah, for sure. But just being more unpredictable. I've been fighting a lot of southpaw, and so switching back and forth. But I got some new things I want to show when I come back.
Okay, well, I think we're all looking forward to seeing when you get back and the new tricks you've got up your sleeve. So.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, this is Sebastian Martinez, MMA editor of Jake Ellenberger, and we'll look forward to your next fight. Thank you very much.